We're going to talk about death and what you will experience 1 minute after you die. And my guest today is my good friend, Dr. Erwin Lutzer. He is the pastor of the historic Moody Church in Chicago, Illinois. And Erwin, why is this so important to everybody that's listening?
Well, John, first of all, I want to say what a delight it is to be here to discuss this incredibly important topic. And we welcome all the people who are listening. But you know, the Bible teaches that God actually has put eternity in our hearts. I think atheists, even when they come to die, are well aware that there is something on the other side. And the Bible says it is appointed unto man once to die, and after that, the judgment. And try as we might to put death out of our minds, when it's our time to die, I can assure you that our minds will be very focused on what lies on the other side of the curtain.
Yeah, you were asked as a pastor to do a funeral, and it was a very kind of strange circumstance. Tell us about that.
Yeah, what happened is I received a call from a funeral home, and they asked me to come over and to speak briefly. Now, when I got there, the son, whose father had died, took me aside and said, "We want you to be very brief." As a matter of fact, what he said is, "Nothing that you say will be too short." He said, "We don't believe in God. My father didn't believe in God. We are atheists. And the only reason you're here is because a relative thought that a minister should be present." So I said, "I'm going to make an agreement with you. I'm not going to talk about your father, but I said, in the few moments that I am going to speak, I'm going to be talking about Jesus Christ and eternity." Well, what could he do? He had to allow me to do that. But you know, John, just think of what that man was experiencing after his death.
Yeah, while you were parking the car, while you were making the arrangements, while you were talking with the family, the man that was in the casket, according to the Bible, was what?
You know, we're going to be looking at this in much more detail, but in the 16th chapter of Luke, Jesus tells a story. And I don't believe that it was a parable. I think it's an actual story. He tells the story of a rich man who died and also a poor man who died. And the point that Jesus was making is not that riches lead you to hell, but it is true that the rich man ended up in what is called Hades. And we're going to have to discuss that on this show. And it says also that the poor man, whose name was Lazarus, was in Abraham's bosom. The question is, what was the rich man experiencing? Well, as the Bible clearly indicates, he was in a state of pain, of torment, and he was going through all of these experiences. And I believe that that rich man in Chicago, while I spoke briefly, and then there was a rather long eulogy about him and all of his accomplishments, he was also in Hades, in that place that is described as one of abandonment and torment. And right from the beginning, we have to make this very clear, that there's a big difference between what you see when someone dies and you see their lifeless body and what they are experiencing. Because after they've died, what they find is they are in an entirely different world, a different realm. And death is not a positive experience for everyone.